This is Unit 1, Week 2, question number 8. Compare the New England, Middle, and Southern colonies. All right, there's so much loaded in this question that I want to get to concepts or ideas. Instead of memorizing, there were 13 colonies and they were founded by this, that, or the other. Actually, it's kind of funny. Georgia's founded by people in prison, or for people in prison. They're in prison because they owe money. Today we don't do that. Think about it. How dumb is it? You owe me money, you get locked up in prison. What's the one thing I'm never going to get? Paid back, because you can't earn any money. But it was a social experiment of debtors. But I'd really rather go over sort of the general trends of these three different regions. So in terms of diversity, the New England colonies are homogeneous, beyond all imagination socially, predominantly English, predominantly Puritan. Oh, and so it's not very nationally diverse. And socially, they're small villages, whitewashed little New England towns with their little town church and town green even today. In terms of religious practices, New England predominantly Puritan or some Anglican. Ethnic composition, New England would be English, English, and English. And in economic practices, what do they grow? Rocks. The land is awful. It's cold. It's not a great, so ice comes up every year, so you clear your field and farm of rocks. Freeze happens the next year, the ice pushes rocks, so literally you're growing rocks. So New England villages, there were subsistence farmers farming to take care of their own community, but not necessarily their own family, but not necessarily growing huge commercial crops for trade. All right, the middle colonies. These are the diverse ones, far more diverse. Middle colonies are filled with, first of all, social diversity, some commercial families, some religious groups, not nearly the homogeneity of New England. In terms of religions, you've got even a few Jewish people in Delaware here, but sweet. But you've got Anglicans, you've got Catholics, and Maryland's kind of southern, kind of middle. And in New York, you've got the Dutch, so you've got Dutch Reformed churches. In Pennsylvania, you've got the Quakers. William Penn set it up as a religious tolerance location, but heavily Quaker. And ethnic composition, you've got Dutch, Swedes, English, a number of different groups, all in these different areas. Economic practice is much more diverse. You've got fur trading on the frontier. These are the breadbasket colonies. They're growing grains, certainly. You've got some timber in New England and timber in New York. So, and these are commercial trade. The major port cities of the Americas are Boston, because New England does have a good bit of shipping trade because they can't farm anything. But the New England colonies, you've got Philadelphia, New York, locations of trade, economic commerce, and less religion, middle, just more diverse in every way possible. And then the southern colonies, you've got social diversity, well, not really. You've got wealthy plantation owners and poor slave communities, and then small frontier farmers who might be former indentured servants. So you've got tremendous power centered in the hands of the wealthy landowning slave owners, and then fragmented out, no power in the slaves, and then small groups of frontier farmers. Religion practices in the southern colonies, you've got Anglican and African traditions. You don't have the multi-ethnic, multi-ethnic in terms of African slaves, but you don't have the middle colonies' diversity of various nations of Europe. And in economic practice, the South is agriculture, 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 tobacco, rice, indigo, large, huge commercial crops dominated by, and no cities. Small little plantation was kind of a town unto itself. But people are fragmented out, agriculture, but social power in the hands of the few. Anyways, a quick review. Which colony is in which? New England colonies are made up of New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island and the Providence Plantations. They're small, they needed a big name. The middle colonies are New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Delaware is kind of middle and southern. And then the southern colonies, the purple ones here, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. In all honesty, the most powerful dominant colonies are Massachusetts and Virginia, and then Pennsylvania. The others are fairly small. Anyways, that's it from the Happy House of History and some dude in a Hawaiian shirt.